Hey, all right. Today I'd like to go on a bit of a deep dive on confirming evidence. And the first thing I want to point out to you is that the 2 minute chart, actually it looks pretty good there, but sometimes the 2 minute chart can be a real bitch. Like a real bitch. It can get very, very choppy, and like this would be an absolute nightmare to trade. And so, for example, we have our core mean reversion setup here. Touch of the Bollinger, lower close shooting star completes the setup. Short here, stop loss there, but that's a terrible trade. Like that's just like a monstrously shit trade to take. I think it may have worked just, but if it worked, it was only pure luck. It was just a really terrible thing to want to do with your trading capital. And similarly here, we have one here, which, no, we don't quite. But so anyway, so what we need to do to make the 2 minute chart tradable is tweak the odds in our favor. And we do that by we've got the 2 minute chart here on the left, we've got the 5 minute chart on the top right, we've got the 10 minute chart as well. So what we're trying to do here is have what we call confirming evidence to back up our trade. So right here, we don't have a trade yet. So I'm going to go over the different types of confirming evidence that we have. So the first one is obvious. If we touch the Bollinger on the 2 minute, if we also touch the Bollinger on the same candle on the 5 minute or the 10 minute, or up to one candle to the left or one candle to the right, we consider that confirming evidence. So you can see that a reversal from a point that touches the 5 minute and the 10 minute is an entirely different proposition from one that's just fucking around in here, right? Completely different thing. The odds are much, much stronger. That's the first type of confirming evidence that we have. The second type of confirming evidence is a little bit more complicated to understand. So if we consider going short here, this is a true mean reversion trade. The market has to reverse on the 2, reverse on the 5, and reverse on the 10. Betting on a complete reversal, the implications are twofold. Implication one is complete reversals don't happen all the time. The trend is your friend and all that. And secondly, going with the trend is often a smarter play. So we have a type of confirming evidence where we're going with the trend. Let's see if we have one in the last couple of hours. So we need an exact definition for confirming evidence for going with the trend. So here it is. So first of all, we have to be trending. And then once we're trending, we have a pullback that reaches at least the moving averages. So it brings up a secondary question: what is trending? So let's talk about our definition for trending in the system, which is very, very important. So none of this is trending. This is all choppy bullshit. Actually, let's find a market that is trending. It'll be easier to show you. Okay. So this market is clearly trending down. From about here, this market is clearly trending up. From about here, this market is clearly trending down. I don't think anyone who's watching this would have issue with this. How do we come up with a set of rules that does that? Okay, for us, in our system, trending is a two-stage process. Stage 1, touch the upper Bollinger. Stage 2, have a single candle with a higher high and a higher close than we've had since the candle that touches the Bollinger. So here, we touch the Bollinger, step 1. Step 2, we start trending. Works identically in reverse, two-stage process. Touches the lower Bollinger, step 1. Step 2, a single candle, has to be a single candle with a lower close and a lower low. Running away. Let's look at it previously. We have a single candle that touches the lower Bollinger. The lower Bollinger is 306 and the low is 305. These candles do not make a lower low and a lower close. This is the candle that starts us trending. You can see, and after that happens, it continues to trend for some time. Let's go back and find some more. So, our trending is a two-stage process. Step 1 touches the upper Bollinger. Step 2, single candle, higher, high, high, close. This trend didn't last very long. Some of them don't. Same deal here. This touches the lower Bollinger. This makes a lower low, but not a lower close. This is the first candle that starts us trending down. So this is our definition of trending. Now, let's go back to our confirming evidence matrix. We have 4 different types of confirming evidence. Type 1, touching the upper Bollinger for a short, or touching the lower Bollinger for a long. Self-explanatory. Type 2, trending up, which we start on this candle, with a pullback to at least the moving averages. Trending up with a pullback at least to the moving averages, at least to the moving averages, at least to the moving averages. Now, why do we use this? Because here is a reasonable place to get long. Here is a reasonable place to get long. Here is a not unreasonable place to get long. Here is a reasonable place to get long. Here is a reasonable place to get long. Like a pullback in an uptrend is a pretty reasonable place to get long. I think that's probably enough to take in one day. Tomorrow I'm going to put out a video on the 3rd, and then the day after we'll do a video on the 4th types of confirming evidence. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.